Hannah Park looked out the small window of her apartment on Proxima Colony. The city lights created a beautiful pattern against the dark sky. Hannah loved this view, especially after a long day of singing at local venues. Tonight, though, she couldn't enjoy it. Something strange had happened. Hannah sat on her worn couch, staring at her comm screen. An advertisement played for the third time. The song in the ad had vocals that sounded exactly like her voice. Every note, every breath, every unique way she pronounced words. It was all there. But Hannah had never recorded this song. "I don't understand," she said quietly, pressing replay again. Her roommate Minho walked in with 2 cups of tea. He handed one to Hannah and sat beside her. "What's wrong? You look upset," he said. "Listen to this," Hannah said, turning up the volume. "Tell me what you hear." The song played again. It was a catchy pop tune about love among the stars. Minho's eyes widened. "That's your voice. Did you record this without telling me? Are you famous now?" He smiled, but his smile faded when he saw Hannah's face. "That's the problem," she said. "I never sang this song. I've never even heard it before today." Minho leaned closer to the screen. "But it sounds exactly like you." "I know. Someone is using my voice without my permission." Hannah searched for information about the song. It was called Starlight Dreams by an artist named Stellar Vox. According to the info, Stellar Vox was not a real person but a virtual artist created by Galactone Records. Galactone. "They're huge," Minho said. "They control music across 3 star systems." Hannah nodded. "Their main office is on the central planet. The company is run by Melodians. The math aliens. Makes sense. They're all about patterns and formulas. They don't understand art the way humans do." Hannah kept reading. Galactone had recently launched several virtual artists, claiming they used advanced AI technology to create unique vocal styles. "But this isn't AI," Hannah said. "This is my voice. Every little detail is the same." She couldn't sleep that night. How had they gotten her voice? How many songs had they made with it? Was she owed money? The questions kept her awake until morning light filtered through her window. The next day, Hannah went to her regular singing job at Café Lumna. The small cafe was popular with both locals and tourists. Hannah had been performing there 3 times a week for the past year. The owner, Jun, always said her voice brought in customers. Halfway through her set, a group of 5 tourists walked in. They sat near the front and listened to Hannah sing an old Earth song. When she finished, they clapped loudly. One of the tourists, a woman with bright blue hair, called out, "Can you sing Cosmic Heartbeat? It's my favorite." Hannah blinked in confusion. "I'm sorry. I don't know that song." The tourist looked equally confused. "But you're Hannah Park, right? Cosmic Heartbeat is your biggest hit. It's playing everywhere." "There must be some mistake," Hannah said. "I don't have any hits." The tourist pulled out her personal device and showed it to Hannah. "Look, this is you, Hannah Park, the voice of Stellar Vox." Hannah took the device with shaking hands. The screen showed her name and picture next to the Stellar Vox logo. Below was a list of songs, including Cosmic Heartbeat and Starlight Dreams. According to the information, these songs had millions of plays across the galaxy. "Can I hear it?" Hannah asked quietly. The tourist pressed play. The cafe filled with a beautiful melody, and then a voice began to sing. Hannah's voice, singing words she had never seen and notes she had never practiced. "That's you, right?" asked another tourist. Hannah nodded slowly, a cold feeling spreading through her body. "It's my voice. But I never recorded this song." "What do you mean?" asked the blue-haired tourist. "Someone stole my voice," Hannah said, her hands gripping the device tightly. The tourists looked at each other with confused expressions. "I need to go," Hannah said suddenly, handing back the device. She apologized to June and quickly packed up her things. Outside the cafe, Hannah leaned against the wall, trying to calm her racing heart. This was bigger than she had thought. Her voice wasn't just in one advertisement. It was being used to create a famous virtual artist. Millions of people were listening to songs sung with her voice, thinking it was someone called Stellar Vox. Someone had stolen not just her voice, but her chance at success, and they were making a lot of money from it. "This isn't right," she whispered to herself, "and I'm going to prove it." Hannah sat across from Suk, a lawyer with kind eyes and a serious expression. His office was small but clean, with certificates on the walls and a large window overlooking the busy streets of Proxima Colony's human district. "I believe you," Suk said after Hannah explained her situation. "This has happened before." "It has." Hannah leaned forward, surprised. "Yes, companies like Galactic use technology to capture voices. They record singers without permission, usually during public performances." "How do they do it?" Hannah asked. "They use neural capture devices, small, easy to hide. One recording is all they need to copy every aspect of your voice." Hannah thought back to her performances. Anyone could have been there with such a device. The idea made her feel violated. "Is what they did legal?" she asked. Suk tapped his fingers on his desk. "That's the problem. The law isn't clear. Interstellar copyright rules haven't caught up with this technology. Voice rights are especially complicated." "But it's my voice," Hannah said firmly. "How can they just take it?" "That's exactly why I want to help you. This case could set an important example." Suk had been working in artistic rights law for 7 years. As humans spread through the stars, they brought their art with them. But other species had different ideas about creativity and ownership. "I can't pay much," Hannah admitted. "Don't worry about that now," Suk replied. "First, we need to gather evidence." Over the next 2 weeks, they built their case. Suk hired Dury, a tech expert who confirmed that Galactic had created a system called VoicePrint. This AI could analyze and copy any voice it heard. "The system needs just 5 minutes of clear audio," Dury explained, showing them diagrams on her tablet. "Then it can make that voice sing anything, songs the original singer never performed." More disturbing was what else they found. Galactic had a list of human singers from various colonies. All were talented but not famous. All had unique vocal qualities, and all had their voices taken. "They're specifically targeting humans," Suk noted. "Our voices have emotional qualities that melodians find hard to replicate artificially." Hannah felt a mix of anger and determination. "So they steal what they can't create." "Exactly," Suk said, "and it's time to stop them." They filed a lawsuit against Galactic. The company was huge, with connections throughout the star system. Hannah knew it would be difficult, but she refused to back down. 3 days later, someone knocked on her apartment door. Hannah opened it to find a tall, thin figure standing in the hallway. His skin had a faint blue tint. A melodian. "Miss Park, I am Director Ho from Galactic Records. May I come in?" Hannah hesitated, then nodded. She called Minho from his room to join them. Director Ho sat stiffly on their couch. His face showed little expression, typical for melodians, who communicated emotions differently than humans. "Miss Park, we have reviewed your complaint," he said. "While we deny any wrongdoing, we wish to resolve this matter quickly." He placed a small device on the coffee table. A holographic contract appeared above it. "We are prepared to offer you a settlement of 50,000 credits," Director Ho continued. "A generous amount for an unknown artist. In exchange, you will drop all claims and sign a non-disclosure agreement." Hannah looked at the number. It was more money than she had ever seen. Enough to pay her debts and live comfortably for a year or more. "And if I refuse?" she asked. Director Ho's expression didn't change, but his voice cooled. "That would be unwise. Galactic has connections with every music venue in this system. No artist who challenges us finds work easily." Minho tensed beside Hannah, but she placed a calming hand on his arm. "Are you threatening me?" she asked. I am explaining reality. Director Ho replied. Your career, small as it is now, could end. Or you could take our offer and have financial security. Hannah stared at the contract, the blue light illuminating her face. 50,000 credits. It was tempting. She could move to a better apartment, maybe even travel back to Earth. But then she thought about her voice, singing words she never chose, creating art she had no part in. She thought about other singers facing the same theft. Hannah looked up at Director Ho, her decision made. Please tell Galactic something from me, she said, her voice steady. Yes. Director Ho leaned forward slightly. I'll see you in court. Director Ho's eyes narrowed, the first real emotion he had shown. He stood up, the contract vanishing as he took the device. You will regret this decision, Miss Park, he said quietly. Then he left. Min-ho let out a breath. Are you sure about this? They could ruin your career. Hannah nodded. They already stole my voice. I won't let them steal my dignity too. That evening, she called Suk to tell him what happened. They're worried, Suk said. That means we have a chance. Get ready, Hannah. The real battle is just beginning. Hannah's heart beat fast as she walked into the Galactic Commerce Court. The room was huge, with tall ceilings and seats for many different types of beings. Some had 6 legs, others had blue skin, and some looked like giant insects. Hannah had never seen so many different species in one place. Suk walked beside her, carrying his case files. He looked calm, but Hannah knew this was a big day for him too. Remember what we practiced, he whispered. Just tell the truth. Your voice will do the rest. The 3 judges sat on a raised platform. The middle judge was human, the left was a Melodian like Director Ho, and the right was a Vexolian with 4 eyes. Galactic's team of lawyers sat at a large table. Director Ho was there, along with 5 others. They had fancy suits and many digital devices. Compared to them, Hannah and Suk looked small and simple. Don't worry about their fancy equipment, Suk said, noticing Hannah's worry. We have something better. The case began with each side giving opening statements. Galactic's lawyer spoke first. This case has no merit, she said. Galactic uses advanced AI to create new vocal patterns. Miss Park simply has a voice that happens to share qualities with our AI creation. Nothing was stolen. When it was Suk's turn, he spoke clearly and simply. This is about theft, he said. Galactic took Hannah Park's voice without permission. They used it to make money while giving her nothing. Today, we will prove this. The trial went on for several hours. Galactic showed charts and played recordings, trying to prove their AI created stellar vox independently. Then it was Hannah's turn to speak. She walked to the witness stand, feeling nervous but determined. Miss Park, Suk said, could you tell the court about your singing background? Hannah talked about growing up on Earth, learning to sing from her grandmother, and moving to Proxima Colony to find work as a performer. And now, Suk said, looking at the judges, I would like Miss Park to demonstrate her voice. The judges nodded their approval. Please sing a traditional song from Earth, Suk requested. Hannah took a deep breath and began to sing River Home, a simple folk song about missing one's homeland. Her voice filled the courtroom, clear and full of feeling. She sang about rivers flowing to the sea, about stars guiding travelers home. As she sang, something interesting happened. The beings in the court began to react. Some closed their eyes, others leaned forward. The Vexolian judge's 4 eyes blinked rapidly, their way of showing emotion. When Hannah finished, the room was silent for a moment. Then Suk spoke again. Now I would like to play the AI version of this same song. He pressed a button, and a recording played. It was Hannah's voice, or what sounded like her voice, singing the same song. The notes were perfect. The words were clear. But something was missing. Notice the difference. Suk said to the judges, the AI version is technically correct, but it lacks the emotional quality of Miss Park's live performance. He turned to his next witness, Dr. J, could you explain what we're hearing? Dr. J was a music expert who had studied songs across many species. He walked to the front of the court. Human voices contain micro-variations, tiny changes in tone and timing that convey emotion, he explained. These variations are not random mistakes. They are how humans express feelings through song. Dr. J showed brain scans on a large screen. When beings hear a real human singing with emotion, their brains light up in areas connected to feelings. The AI version doesn't create the same response. He pointed to Director Ho. Melodians experience music mathematically. They appreciate patterns and precision. This is why they find it difficult to understand why a technically imperfect human voice can be more moving than a perfect AI one. Dr. J continued, our investigation found that Galactic has been specifically targeting human singers. This internal document shows they know human voices have special qualities their AI cannot create on its own. Director Ho shifted in his seat as the document appeared on screens around the court. It clearly stated, human vocal patterns contain emotional subtextures that increase listener engagement by 43%. Acquiring these patterns is more cost-effective than trying to develop them artificially. In simple terms, Dr. J concluded, they took what they couldn't make themselves. The Melodian judge spoke for the first time. If the emotional quality is so important, why not simply hire human singers? An excellent question, Suk replied. Miss Park, how much were you paid for the use of your voice in Galactic's products? Nothing, Hana answered. I never agreed to let them use my voice. Suk turned back to the judges. Galactic has made millions of credits from songs using voices like Hana's. They took what makes human voices special without permission or payment. Director Ho whispered urgently to his lawyers. They looked worried now. The human judge spoke. We will take a short break to review this evidence. Court will resume in 1 hour. As everyone stood, Suk smiled at Hana. Did you see their faces? They understand now. No matter what happens, you showed everyone the difference between real art and a copy. Hana nodded, feeling stronger than she had in months. For the first time, she believed she might actually win. The story of Hana's fight against Galactic spread quickly. News networks across 3 star systems carried reports about the trial. Video clips of Hana singing in court circulated on the Galactic network. People watched her performance alongside the AI copy and could hear the difference for themselves. Within days, more singers came forward. Jun Lee from Earth Colony 7 recognized his voice in 3 popular dance tracks. Eun from the Moon Base found her vocals in children's learning programs. Jai from Mars Settlement heard himself singing commercial jingles. All had the same story. They were unknown artists whose voices had been recorded and used without permission or payment. Minho helped Hana create a message board where affected singers could connect. By the end of the week, over 50 human vocalists had joined. This is bigger than just me, Hana told Suk during a meeting in his office. It's about all artists. Suk nodded. The court case is important, but public opinion might be even more powerful. People need to understand what's happening. A popular network called Stellar News contacted Hana for an interview. At first, she was nervous about appearing on such a big platform, but Suk encouraged her. This is your chance to show everyone the truth, he said. The interview was scheduled to be broadcast live across the settled systems. Hana prepared carefully, practicing what she wanted to say. On the day of the broadcast, Hana sat in the studio, lights bright on her face. Millions of beings across many worlds were watching. The interviewer, a kind-faced woman named Dara, asked Hana to explain her case. Galactic took my voice without asking, Hana said simply. They used it to make songs I never sang and kept all the money for themselves. Could you show us what you mean? Dara asked. Hana nodded. This was the moment she had prepared for. She sang a verse of an old song about freedom. Her voice was clear and full of feeling, making the ancient lyrics feel new and meaningful. Then Dara played the AI version of the same verse. It sounded like Hana, but something crucial was missing. "What's the difference?" Dara asked. "Art isn't just about perfect notes," Hannah explained. "It's about the lived experience behind each word, each phrase. When corporations steal our voices, they steal our stories." She leaned forward, speaking directly to the camera. "Every song I sing carries pieces of my life, my joys, my sorrows, my dreams. That's something no AI can copy." The interview ended with Hannah singing a new song she had written about her fight for justice. By the next morning, it had been shared millions of times. Human listeners across the settled worlds began boycotting Galactic productions. Music venues put up signs saying, "We support real artists." Students organized protests outside Galactic offices. Galactic's stock value dropped sharply. The company released a statement claiming they had done nothing wrong, but fewer people believed them now. Then something unexpected happened. A Melodian named Rang contacted Suk, saying he wanted to help Hannah's case. Rang had worked for Galactic in their voice analysis department, but had recently left the company. Suk arranged a private meeting in a secure location. Hannah was surprised to see a Melodian supporting her cause. "Why are you helping us?" she asked Rang. "Because what they're doing is wrong," Rang said. His voice had the musical quality all Melodians possessed. "Even by Melodian standards, theft is unethical." Rang had brought data files, internal documents from Galactic, that proved everything Hannah had claimed. The company had secret programs specifically designed to target talented but unknown human singers. Most importantly, Rang had a classified report that showed Galactic executives knew their actions were ethically questionable. They have research proving that human vocal expressions contain what they call emotional subtextures that increase listener engagement by 43%, Rang explained. Their tests showed these qualities couldn't be artificially created, so they decided it was cheaper to steal these qualities than to pay human artists fairly. The evidence was damning. When Rang testified in court the next day, Director Ho couldn't hide his shock at seeing a fellow Melodian supporting Hannah. "Is the information in these documents accurate?" the human judge asked Director Ho. "These are internal confidential materials," Director Ho replied stiffly. "They were not meant for public viewing." "That doesn't answer my question," the judge said. Director Ho remained silent. News of Rang's testimony spread quickly. Galactic's reputation suffered further damage. Other companies began distancing themselves from Galactic's practices. The case had now gained the attention of the Galactic Cultural Council, the highest authority on artistic and cultural matters in settled space. They announced they would review laws regarding all sentient beings' rights to their creative expressions. "This case has revealed a gap in our legal protection of artistic works," the Council's statement read. "All thinking beings deserve control over their creative outputs, including their voices." That evening, Hannah sat with Suk, Minho, and Rang in a small celebration at her apartment. "We haven't won yet," Suk cautioned, "but the tide has turned." Hannah nodded. "It's not just about me anymore. It's about setting things right for everyone." As they talked, her comm screen showed protests continuing outside Galactic headquarters. The company that had once seemed too powerful to challenge now looked vulnerable. The turning point had come. Now they just needed to finish what they had started. The final day of the trial arrived. The Galactic Commerce Court was packed with beings from many worlds. Reporters filled the back rows. Hannah sat beside Suk, trying to stay calm. The three judges entered the courtroom. Everyone stood until the judges took their seats. The Chief Justice, a Vexolian with 4 eyes, looked at her notes one last time. The room fell silent. In the case of Park versus Galactic Records, the Chief Justice began, her 4 eyes blinking in a solemn pattern. "This court has reviewed all evidence and testimony." Hannah held her breath. Suk gave her hand a quick, supportive squeeze. "The court finds in favor of the plaintiff, Hannah Park," the Chief Justice announced. "We rule that a sentient being's voice is indeed their intellectual property and cannot be replicated without explicit consent and compensation." For a moment, Hannah couldn't believe what she had heard. Then the gallery erupted in cheers. People stood, clapped, and hugged one another. Some were crying. Minho, who sat behind Hannah, let out a joyful shout. The Chief Justice continued after the noise died down. Galactic Records is ordered to pay damages of 5 million credits to the plaintiff. They must also destroy all unauthorized vocal captures in their possession and cease all sales of products using these captures. Director Ho and the Galactic team sat stiffly, showing little emotion, but their defeat was clear to everyone. Outside the courthouse, Hannah faced a crowd of reporters and supporters. "What will you do now?" a reporter asked. "First, I'm going to help other artists who had their voices stolen," Hannah replied. "This victory isn't just for me." The news spread quickly across the settled worlds. Galactic's public apology came the next day, along with announcements of new company policies. Other corporations that had used similar practices quickly changed their ways. 6 months passed. Hannah's life had changed completely. On a bright evening, she stood on the grand stage of the Central Planet Performance Hall. 5,000 beings filled the seats before her. The lights dimmed, and Hannah began to sing. Her voice filled the hall, pure and emotional. She sang about struggle, about justice, about finding one's true voice. The audience listened in perfect silence. When she finished, they rose as one in thunderous applause. This was Hannah's third sold-out concert on her tour of the Central Worlds. Her name had become known throughout the galaxy, not as Stellar Vox, but as Hannah Park, the artist who had fought for creative rights and won. After the show, Hannah met with a journalist for an interview. "Your case changed everything," the journalist said. "The new Sentient Creative Rights Act will protect artists across the galaxy." "It was worth the fight," Hannah replied. "With my settlement money, I started the True Voice Foundation. We help performers protect their rights and find ethical work." "And your music career is thriving too," the journalist noted. "Your album is the first independently produced work to reach the top of the galactic charts." Hannah smiled. "I'm working with Good Sound Records now. They're run by humans who understand the value of authentic expression." The journalist asked one final question. "What do you think your case has shown the galaxy about humanity?" Hannah thought for a moment before answering. "Human creativity isn't just a resource to be exploited," she said. "It's a reminder that throughout the galaxy, authentic expression matters. Some things can't be synthesized or manufactured." Later that night, after the crowds had gone, Hannah stood at the edge of the stage. She remembered her tiny apartment on Proxima Colony, the small cafes where she used to sing, the day she first heard her stolen voice. Her comm device buzzed with a message from Rang, the Melodian who had helped her win the case. He had started a cultural exchange program, teaching Melodians about emotional expression in art. Another message came from Suk. The True Voice Foundation had just signed up its 100th volunteer lawyer. Artists across the galaxy now had people to defend their rights. The next morning, Hannah visited a school where children of many species were learning to sing together. A young Melodian girl approached her shyly. "I want to sing with feeling, like you," the girl said. "Can you teach me how?" Hannah knelt down to meet the girl's eyes. "Of course I can," she said. "Everyone has their own unique voice. The important thing is to use it honestly." As she helped the children with their song, Hannah realized her fight had done more than win her justice. It had shown the galaxy what humanity could truly contribute, not just technology or resources, but the depth of emotion that made art transcend boundaries between worlds and species. That night, Hannah added a new verse to her signature song, about different voices coming together to create something more beautiful than any could make. Elo.